picture this. You are standing right in front of your boss.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And you completely messed up a major project. I mean, total disaster. You have maybe, I don't know, 5 seconds to explain yourself before things go south.
Right, the pressure is really on.
Exactly. And the difference between saving your reputation and looking totally incompetent comes down to just 2 tiny words.
Just 2 words.
Would've.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are thrilled to have you with us because today we're tackling something that looks incredibly small on paper, but, it makes people panic like they just opened a tax form.
It really does. It's this ultimate high-stakes linguistic maneuver. It carries just an enormous amount of social weight for something so short.
And that is exactly why we're doing this.
Yeah.
You handed us this stack of notes specifically focused on English grammar for B1 to B2 learners, and looking through them, it totally clicked why you single out this one specific structure.
Yeah, the infamous would have plus a past participle. Right, it's a piece of language that routinely makes people freeze up. But we promise this isn't going to be some dusty, robotic textbook lecture.
Well, no, not at all, because the individual words make sense, right?
Yeah.
But stringing them together in real time, it feels like trying to defuse a bomb while someone yells math equations at you.
Okay, let's unpack this. I want to propose a guiding analogy for you, the listener, as we go through this deep dive.
I like analogies. Lay it on.
Think of this grammar structure not as a rigid set of rules you just have to memorize for a test. Think of it as, well, emotional English.
Oh, I like that. Emotional English.
Yeah. It's a tool specifically designed to help us navigate messy, uncomfortable human relationships.
That captures the essence perfectly, actually. Because to understand the emotion behind the phrase, we first have to look at the specific alternate reality it creates.
Okay, an alternate reality. Walk me through that.
So when someone uses would have, they are talking about the past, but, and this is key, they are not talking about a real action that actually took place. They are describing a past possibility.
So it's basically like a ghost action.
A ghost action, yes.
Yeah.
It is something that could have happened, or maybe it even should have happened, but it definitively did not happen.
It's just haunting the present moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's look at the formula of reality that your notes lay out here. The classic everyday example they give is, I would have called you, but I lost my phone.
Right, which communicates 3 crucial things all at once.
Exactly.
First, there's the desire to act, like I really wanted to make the call.
Yes.
Second, the failure to act. I didn't actually make the call.
Right, the physical reality.
And third, the reason that stopped the action, the lost phone. So it's basically ability plus an obstacle.
And what's fascinating here is how this differs entirely from a simple past tense sentence.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you say, I helped you, that sentence lives firmly in reality. The universe experienced that action. But if you say, I would have helped you, that sentence lives entirely in the imagination.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a reality that only exists in your mind and the mind of the person you are speaking to.
Okay, let me push back on this a little bit, though. English seems so obsessed with these parallel universes.
We really are.
You're calling this emotional English, but isn't it kind of just a polite way of lying?
Lying.
Yeah, I mean, if someone says, you would have passed the exam, but you got sick, the result was technically possible, but the condition blocked it. So life basically just said, not today. Aren't we just making socially acceptable excuses?
I see what you mean. It feels like an excuse if you only look at the physical outcome. But human beings don't just care about physical outcomes, right? We care deeply about intentions.
Okay, fair point.
You aren't lying about the fact that the call didn't happen or the exam wasn't passed. You are giving the listener vital context about why it didn't happen.
The grammar is doing the heavy lifting.
Exactly. It separates your character from the situation.
So it protects my character. It says, I am a good person who makes phone calls, but the physical world stopped me.
That's spot on. And since we know this structure lives in an imaginary past, that brings us to why we actually use it so much in daily life, especially at work.
Because real life is messy.
Very messy. We need linguistic tools to handle the friction of letting people down. We use it for missed opportunities, polite excuses, reflections, professional regret.
Okay, let's take this into the professional world, because I think this is where the panic really sets in for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Let's say you just walked out of a job interview. You prepared for weeks, but you got in there, your nerves completely took over, and you fumbled a basic question.
A nightmare scenario.
Total nightmare. So if you call your friend afterward and just say, I answered better, but I was nervous, your friend is going to be incredibly confused.
Because mechanically saying I answered better implies a success that didn't happen. You are stating your ghost action as a hard fact.
Right. But if you use our ghost action properly and say, I would have answered better, but I was too nervous, you completely protect your meaning.
Yes. You are signaling to your friend that you had the ability. You knew the material deep down, but something internal blocked the execution.
It softens the blow to your own ego, too.
It does. And take that same concept to your manager. Let's say your manager asks, why didn't you come in for your shift yesterday?
Always a stressful question.
Right. Now, if you say, I didn't come because my child was sick, it can sound a bit abrupt, almost defensive.
Yeah, it sounds a little sharp.
But if you say, I would have come, but my child was sick, it acts as a highly respectful explanation, not just a defensive excuse.
That's a huge difference. But it makes me wonder, why can't we just give people the facts?
What do you mean?
Like, let's move from the workplace to relationships. Imagine you completely forget a close friend's birthday. Absolute worst feeling.
Oh, the guilt is terrible.
Total emotional damage. Why not just look at your friend and give them the facts? Why not just say, I didn't call you?
Oh, please don't do that.
Right. But logically, it's the truth. But according to your notes, bare facts sound incredibly cold.
Very cold. Because human ears are wired for narrative. If you just deliver a bare negative verb like, I didn't call, you leave a massive emotional void.
And people will immediately fill that void by assuming you just didn't care about them.
Exactly. Whereas, I would have called you adds warmth and humanity. It sends a clear signal. I cared, but life got in the way.
It's amazing how much work those two little words are doing.
They really are carrying the relationship.
So we've established how we use this to talk about actions we missed. But your sources show there is a subtle variation used purely to describe how those missed situations felt.
Yes. Shifting from the action to the feeling.
How do we do that?
We introduce would have been. This variation is socially powerful because it allows you to sound thoughtful rather than harsh.
Oh, I use this all the time.
We all do. It usually shows up when a situation didn't happen the way you hoped, or maybe didn't happen at all.
So this is where we get sentences like, it would have been amazing, or that would have been nice.
Exactly. Soft disappointment.
Or my personal favorite for workplace diplomacy. The meeting would have been easier if you came earlier.
Ooh, that is a good one. It identifies a problem, someone's lateness,
Yeah.
but it frames it around the imagined positive feeling of an alternate reality.
It is the ultimate antidote to passive aggression.
It really is.
Like, if someone cancels plans on you at the last minute, you could get angry. You could be cold. But saying, it would have been lovely to see you, expresses that disappointment so softly.
without the anger.
Right. There is no anger in it, just a gentle acknowledgement of a nice alternate reality that you are both missing out on.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, English speakers rely heavily on this kind of softness to navigate social friction. Direct confrontation is socially costly.
It's exhausting.
It is. So we use these imaginary pasts to negotiate our current relationships without causing permanent damage.
Okay, so the emotional logic is beautiful. I totally see the social utility here. But mechanically, mathematically, putting these words together in real time is a nightmare for learners.
Boy, it really is.
I mean, I've heard people try to use this structure and just end up confusing everyone in the room. And your notes actually call this next part the mistake lab.
Yes. Let's briefly look under the hood at how these are built, because this is where learners accidentally create chaos.
Let's do it. What is the core formula?
The underlying pattern is gently outlining this structure. It's would plus have plus the finished verb form.
Meaning the past participle.
Yes. Words like gone, seen, eaten, helped, called.
Before we go further, what does a past participle actually feel like in conversational English? It's a very academic term.
Think of it as the ultimate end of an action. The action is completely exhausted. You don't just go, you are gone.
Okay, that makes sense.
You don't just eat, the food is eaten. It is final.
Got it. So the pitfalls here are fascinating. Let's roleplay the first major pitfall, which the notes call the incomplete thought.
Okay, lay it on me.
This is using it without a reason. So if I walk up to you and say, yesterday I would have gone to the market, and then I just stare at you.
My brain is immediately spinning.
Right.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, okay, but why didn't you?
Right. You leave the listener hanging.
Because the phrase would have is essentially a promise that a but is coming.
Yeah.
It demands the excuse. You have to say, but it was raining, or but my car wouldn't start.
Without the reason, the sentence just sits there hanging in midair.
Exactly. Then there's the second pitfall, which is the time mess.
Oh, mixing up past missed actions with present desires.
Yes. I would have called you versus I would like to call you.
They sound incredibly similar, especially when people speak quickly.
Very similar. But if I say I would have called you, I'm looking backward at a ghost action. If I say I would like to call you, I'm looking at right now or into the future. The emotional meaning is entirely different.
And then there is the most common trap, grammar jail.
Grammar jail. This is when the speaker uses the wrong verb shape entirely.
Like the cursed, I would have a go.
Or I would have joined.
Why does hearing I would have go break the listener's brain so much? It physically hurts to hear.
I know. It's because you are mixing a hypothetical past framework would have with a raw, active, present tense action, go. It is literally a contradiction in physics.
You are trying to put a living action into a ghost's body.
That's exactly it. It has to be that finished shape, gone or joined.
Or what about the haunted sentence the notes mention? I would have been call you.
Oh, yes. That is just two completely different ideas crashing into each other in the dark.
It's like they panicked mid-sentence.
It's overcorrecting. The speaker knows they need something complex, so they just throw every auxiliary verb they know into the mix.
Here's where it gets really interesting. There is a quote in your notes that acts as the ultimate survival trick.
Yes, this is for when you feel yourself panicking mid-sentence.
It's a simple binary. Would have equals the missed action, while would have been equals the imagined result or feeling.
Keep that clear division in mind. I would have gone, the action didn't happen, it would have been fun. The feeling didn't happen.
That cuts through so much of the mental fog.
It really simplifies it.
So, to truly lock in this knowledge, we have to put would have right next to its linguistic cousins.
We need to see how tiny changes completely alter human emotion.
Right. Let's use a relatable scenario. Imagine your friend asks for help moving a heavy couch, and you don't do it. Walk me through the variations.
Okay, let's start with sentence 1. I didn't help him.
Okay, that is just a cold fact, no emotion, no nuance, just a bleak reality. I am not a couch mover.
Then sentence 2. I couldn't help him.
That shifts the meaning entirely. Now we are talking about inability.
Physical inability.
Right. I have a bad back, or I was out of town, it wasn't my fault.
Exactly. Now sentence 3, I wouldn't help him.
Oh, that one has teeth.
Very sharp teeth.
That is a refusal. You looked at that heavy couch, you looked at your friend, and you chose violence.
You actively decided not to help.
You had the ability, but you refused. And finally, sentence 4.
I would have helped him.
And there is our ghost action. That communicates desire. I wanted to be a good friend. I wanted to move that couch. But that desire was blocked by a situation completely outside of my control.
4 tiny variations. 4 completely different human realities.
It's incredible. And your sources also mention pairing this with the conditional if, right?
Yes, the conditional if is used to reflect on alternate results, like if I had known about the sale, I would have bought more clothes.
Right. You didn't know, so you didn't buy. You are looking back at the mechanics of the universe and saying, change this one variable and the whole timeline changes.
This raises an important question, though. When you master these subtle contrasts, you're transitioning from merely surviving a language to actually communicating complex adult emotions.
Like modern exhaustion.
Exactly. You don't just say, I didn't exercise. You say, I would have exercised more, but I was too tired.
I feel seen. That captures the modern human condition perfectly. You are validating your own good intentions while acknowledging your physical limits.
You are giving yourself grace.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, whether you are a language learner trying to navigate these tricky structures or a native speaker just trying to understand the psychology behind your apologies, the summary from these notes is incredibly reassuring.
Making small mistakes while speaking, like accidentally dropping the have or using the wrong verb shade, is always, always better than silence.
Silence helps no one. The ultimate goal of language is connection, not perfection.
I want you to remember the ultimate takeaway from the sources today. Grammar is just vibes.
Just vibes.
It's not about being a perfectionist. It's about being an emotionally smart communicator.
When you stumble through an apology but the warmth is there, the listener will understand your intention. You are showing them that you are reflective.
You are bringing empathy into the conversation, but I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder. Something to explore on your own that builds on this but wasn't explicitly covered in the notes today.
Yeah, a provocative thought. I'm ready.
Think about the sheer psychological complexity of this. If a language requires such a highly specific, complex mathematical formula of words just to express regret and soft disappointment, what does that tell us about human psychology?
That's a deep question. Why dedicate so much grammar to things that didn't even happen?
Right. Does having a dedicated grammar structure for what could have been actually train our brains to dwell on alternate realities?
Are we building parallel universes because our language gives us the blueprints?
Exactly. Or is it the opposite? Does having this specific structure give us the psychological closure we need to finally articulate it out loud, put the what if to rest, and move on with our actual lives?
Something to think about the next time you catch yourself imagining a ghost action.
Definitely. Because now you know exactly what kind of emotional English you are using and why it doesn't ever have to feel like opening a tax form again.